All right, welcome everyone. It is a perfect start, Kathy. Love that. Thanks for being with us today for the Certificate in Open Education Librarianship Information Session, the 2026 cohort. Thanks for being with us. And at any point, if you have questions, we're a small enough group, feel free to just unmute or you can put your questions in the chat and we will make sure that we get to that question at some point. So we're going to talk all about the program today, the description, overview, components, objectives, costs, and a little bit about the application. Then thank you, lovely instructors and alumni who are willing to be here today and talk a little bit about the impact of the program on your professional lives. So we will hear from them, and then we will have time for some questions. So just a brief overview first, though, of, and I should stop and introduce myself. My name is Tanya Groves. I'm the Director of Educational Programs for the Open Education Network, and I'm the Program Manager for this program. So that is why I'm hosting this session, because I'm the one who is totally enriched by being able to work with the instructors each year. It's such a privilege. So who is the Open Education Network? We're not a vendor. We are a diverse network of higher ed institutions. We represent over 1,800 member campuses across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom. Specifically, we are focused on action that advances open ed in ways that are shareable and collaborative and sustainable. We do this by sharing the experiences and expertise of our community in ways that support our members. And as a community, we are working together to help everyone in higher education. Probably the best example of our efforts to support the common good is the Open Textbook Library, which now has over 1,600 open textbooks. I remember back in the day when it had, half of that, fewer than half of that. So it's fun to see that type of growth. So that's kind of who we are and what we are about. As a program, the Certificate in Open Education Librarianship is a professional development program that seeks to, anyways, create effective open education program leaders who want to be stewards and advocates for open educational resources on their campuses. We were originally funded by a Laura Bush 21st Century Librarian Program grant. Back in 2018, it is for librarians. We have made a few exceptions for librarian adjacent roles. We are entering our 8th cohort. This program offers formal training, a community of peers, and expert practitioner mentors. It seeks to build sustainable, collaborative, effective open ed programs. And we've estimated the time commitment about 4 to 6 hours per week. Some weeks a little higher, some weeks a little lower. Some program stats, and yes, thank you, Cheryl. Today's session is being recorded and will be posted on our YouTube channel, specifically on the Certificate in Open Education page. So since 2019, more than 350 higher education librarians across the country and world actually have earned the certificate. Here's what alumni had to say about this program in a survey that we conducted recently. 100% rated the quality of the program as good or excellent. 98% recommended this program to others, would recommend it. 89% have implemented some or all of the action plan they have created in this program. I think if we went back and re-surveyed them, more would have said, yes, we have. 94% are now more confident in their ability to grow open education at their institution. So what is the program about? 10-week online course is where we start in February. There are 5 months then of monthly synchronous cohort meetings that run through September of 2026. So it is cohort based. So you are based with an instructor and a group of 7 other participants. So we've got cohorts of 8. All of this wonderful stuff culminates in a project that's an action plan customized to your institutional needs. So whatever you need to grow open ed on your campus. Some of the learning objectives are to gain fluency in defining open ed, to identify local collaborators and alliances, to design and build sustainable programming, to develop strategies for measuring and articulating the impact of open education. So how do you talk to administrators versus faculty? Connect and collaborate with librarians dedicated to developing OER and open education initiatives across the country. The costs this year, OEN members, including Allied, $790, consortial, $1090, non-member, $1380. Those are the costs are also on the web or the call for applications. However, financial assistance is available. Librarians who need financial assistance will be asked to submit a letter of support from a colleague or supervisor, it's up to you, explaining financial need. The program cost then goes down to $430. And there is an additional type of financial assistance. Full scholarships are available for Black, Indigenous, people of color, so librarians who identify as BIPOC, and this is in an attempt to acknowledge the shortage of librarians of color. Every year that I've been a part of this program, we have been able to honor all of the requests. So I'm hoping that we can continue to do that this year as well for all the partial financial assistance and full scholarships asked for. So just a few benefits, connections with librarians all over the nation and world, because we do have some global participants every year. An action plan that provides a robust template of next steps for moving open ed forward on your campus. Examples, best practices, and resources in a course shell that you have access to for 2 years after that. But by that time, most people have downloaded and saved whatever they want anyway. There is a professional certificate earned, and the Library Copyright Institute, let's see if I can grab this link quick, is also available for participants in our program, headed by Will Cross and others that so far, every time we survey folks who attend, say it's definitely of value to them professionally. Also, and I thought that I put this on the slide, but you also are eligible for CEUs if that's something that is of interest to you. So what do you have to do to apply? You need to answer some questions about your role and institution. You do need to upload a resume or CV, reflect engagement on or interest in open ed. You don't necessarily have to have prior experience, but you do need to express the type of experience you have in working with faculty, programs, and campus stakeholders. You do need to demonstrate a potential to impact or move forward open initiatives at your institution, even in little ways and big ways, and reflect upon how your participation in the program can positively impact diversity, equity, and inclusion at your own institution. So that's all the part of me talking at you, and now is my favorite part. The folks who want to talk to us about this program's impact. By the way, this is a sneak peek. I don't even know if I've told the instructors that Christina Norton will be joining us, but here are wonderful instructors. So we have Cheryl Casey from University of Arizona, so I'm going clockwise from the top left. Then we have Kathy Essmiller, Oklahoma State University. Cheryl and Kathy will be talking to you today, so thank you for that. Mandy Goodset from Cleveland State University. Jeannie Hoover, who's also with us today from East Carolina University. Brian McGeary from Penn State University. Michael Whitchurch from Brigham Young University. Day Zhang from Renton Technical College. And new this year, Christina Norton from Bradley University. So definitely practitioners, and they have wonderful advice and support for you as you walk through this program. Speaking of our wonderful instructors, Kathy, would you mind sharing with us a little bit about how you feel about this program, how it's impacted you professionally, why you teach?
I am happy to. So I don't remember what year I took the certificate program, maybe 2019, 2020, but I absolutely loved it. The curriculum, for one thing, is fantastic, but it is openly available. But being able to move through it with a cohort and talk to people at so many different institutions, and pull from what they were doing, integrate that into what I was doing, but then also the confidence that you get from realizing, oh, there is a little bit that I know that I have to bring to the table, even as we're working through the meeting. So I loved getting to know the people as well as the content, and just develop some dear friendships that I still have. I also don't have an MLS, so it was useful for me to learn more about librarianship as I was moving through the course as well. And I did develop a long-term plan that we followed, and that has helped me communicate the goals we set, helped me communicate the intentionality with which we set the goals, and then of course helped me to measure and communicate the growth of the program in ways that have been really meaningful. So I think without having gone through this program, I might not have been as intentional about some of those things, which then would have reduced my ability to adequately communicate the great work that the library was doing to support student success. So I think it's a great curriculum. It gets updated on a regular basis, so it's certainly current. And for me, any excuse to get in a room with a bunch of open practitioners is just a treat to me. And the reason I agreed to teach is mostly because I wanted to take the class again, and see what's changed in the past few years, and what are the conversations that are taking place now, and what can we keep learning from each other, because definitely we're all in different places with our program. And a lot of times we hear about challenges folks are expecting or experiencing currently, that then help us kind of think through them and then be ready when they come down the pike at our school, which already happened for me this year with one of our students. So the challenges they were sharing, talk through to how can we plan for that? How can we solve for that? And then sure enough, the same opportunity came across my desk later on. So the collaboration, getting together, learning from each other, I just love all of it. And I'm glad y'all are considering doing this. I think it makes us better together, and gets you more in touch with this great community that's part of OEN. So is there more that I should share, or is that enough?
That was perfect, Kathy. Thank
Okay,
you
so I
so
don't know
much.
how much fangirling you needed, but I love this.
Just the perfect amount of fangirling. Okay, next up is Cheryl Casey, the best editor I've met and one of my own personal open ed heroes. So thanks for being with us, Cheryl.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, I'm the Open Education Librarian at the University of Arizona. This will be my 7th year as an instructor with the certificate program. I was one of the original creators who contributed content, and I've been leading OER initiatives at the U of A since 2014. So I just love this community and the people. As Kathy said, we learn a lot too as instructors. When I updated the 2024 curriculum, or no, the 2025 curriculum, I learned about OER and AI, new resources that are available, how to talk about DEI when you can't use the words diversity, equity, inclusion, and so much more. And I learned so much, like Kathy said, from other cohort members. It's helpful to hear what other people have tried and what's been successful or unsuccessful for them. It's just been a great community to be a part of. And I just wanted to share kind of as an instructor slash mentor, how I try to design the experience for participants. We really work hard to build an online community for the cohorts with Zoom meetings and Canvas discussions, regular emails, and those synchronous summer sessions. We have instructors from a range of institution types and sizes. And so Tanya does a great job of trying to match people from community colleges kind of in a cohort. Uh, a, if you're participating with other people from the same institution, you can express a preference for whether you want to be in the same cohort or a different cohort. So there's a lot of flexibility. And we know that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to OER programs, so there's a lot of flexibility built into the program and how you approach your online activities and your action plan. When we've had multiple people from the same institution participate, some chose to collaborate on their action plan and some chose to do separate ones based on their specific job roles. We've also had people from the same institution participate in back-to-back years, building on a previous action plan. And as Tanya mentioned, as instructors and mentors, we give feedback on submitted activities and on action plans, including drafts. I try to offer suggestions for improvements or additional resources to add. I try to keep up to date with all the webinars and listservs and national happenings and share those with cohort members. I really see this as a long-term relationship. Cohort members can email me for advice during and after the program. I've served as an external reviewer for promotion and tenure for participants. And during the summer sessions, like Kathy mentioned, we have conversations around specific challenges and troubleshooting, like bookstore relations and marketing and workshops, and we share ideas and we commiserate. And yes, I've had just one person show up for an OER workshop before, and here's why that's okay. You're planting seeds and you get to focus on building a relationship with just one attendee, and maybe they'll spread the word to their colleagues, and you never know how things will take root and spread. I think there are particular aspects of the program that are especially valuable, like the chance to get to know other OER program leaders so you don't feel like you're alone. I think the assignment to meet with your leadership is a great one. We have a list of recommended topics to discuss, and it helps to facilitate what can be sometimes difficult conversations about expectations and support. The action plan that's the culminating project is super helpful and designed to be really customizable. I adapted the template when my supervisor asked for a 5-year OER roadmap, and she was really happy with the timeline and the SMART goals and the other elements that the certificate's action plan builds in. So I hope that just gives you a little taste of kind of what you might expect, and I hope you will consider joining us.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. So those of you in the room, if you end up applying, you might get to be with one of the wonderful instructors here today. Next up, we are going to hear from some alumni who have been willing to share their experience in our program. First up is Abbie Brown from the University of Missouri Libraries. Thank you, Abbie, for being here.
Hello, my name is Abbie Brown. I am at the University of Missouri, as you can see. I love being called an alumni because I'm still right at the end and haven't submitted that action plan. So it's in the works. It's very difficult. No, it isn't difficult. I'm really glad that I've been involved with this. So the University of Missouri, where I am, is a very large institution. It has been so great to work with people on my cohort and really listen to all the different kinds of positions that are working towards OER at different size schools. And I've discovered that the University of Missouri is in the unique position of having implemented a big OER initiative and push about not quite 10 years ago, but things had kind of cooled off a lot. And there wasn't a champion at the libraries. So my involvement in this has been to become that champion and to kind of bring back the different groups of people that are already doing great OER work. For instance, we have Pressbooks, we have an affordable bookstore initiative. We have a number of things in place that I am very proud to say that we have. But we don't have a great outreach on campus. And so this has been a wonderful program to help me really put together a plan of action that will help me to see what the next few years are going to be like. And I really like that it is, I'm able to fully customize it for what our school is, which is very different from, a smaller school that hasn't had any push at all. I also really appreciated that the activities that we did during the online course involved scaffolding towards the action plan so that it isn't completely brand new information that I'm writing together. I'm actually putting together a lot of things that I did during the online course and have access, of course, to all the course information in Canvas. And I really have appreciated also the ability, having a reason to coordinate with people on my campus, because again, we are a very big campus and some of the people that I've talked with are not people I've ever talked with. It's been wonderful to learn more about the bookstore and learn more about our e-learning group, and then also work with the cohort. So I have a lot of great things to say about this program. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Abbie. Yeah, I should have mentioned Abbie's almost an alumnus. Not quite yet, but she will be. Okay, next up, thank you, Beth Chenette from Texas A&M University, for being with us today and talking to us a little bit about your experience.
Sure, thank you. I'm the same as Abbie. I just turned in my action plan for my cohort colleagues to review and for my instructor to review, but the final plan is actually due next Friday. But I'm not worried. I've got it together. I was in cohort D that had 8 people from universities and community colleges, and our instructor was Brian McGeary from Penn State University Libraries. A few of the things I'll just mention, some of the things that have already been said, but I will reiterate them because I think they're worth noting. That you can customize the program and your resulting action plan. You can use your own situation at your institution and apply your coursework. You can customize all of it to the specific open education situation at your institution. For example, I'm at Texas A&M Libraries, where we have an open education program in our libraries that started about 18 months ago. We have a director, an OER librarian, a publishing platform manager, and me, and I'm the reserve services coordinator. So reserves got folded into Open Ed, and all of us are focused on course affordability efforts. So although I'm fairly new to open education, that didn't matter because this program meets you where you are. The curriculum is thoughtfully designed. The coursework sets you up for success with your action plan from the beginning, which is what really, really helped me. The activities, discussions, and module assignments are all components that you combine to create your final action plan. So at the end of the course, you've already done quite a bit of the work before you actually get to the writing of the action plan at the end. Also, there were plenty of opportunities to ask questions and interact with cohort colleagues and with my instructor. But I think maybe the best thing was that at the end here, I have a workable product, an action plan that I created goals for, and it forced me to put on my project management thinking cap so that when I'm working through the course and assignments, I have an action plan that's detailed, tied to my institution's mission and goals, but also actionable and customized to where I am and what my role is. So I have made, basically it's a 3-year to-do list, which makes my goals achievable. And so for me, the program assignments and discussions were motivational, and I feel ready to take action. I can't imagine putting this action plan in my drawer and forgetting about it. I've already got 2 of my planned goals started and almost completed. So it does motivate you. So those are some of the highlights from me on what I thought about it. I would highly recommend this program to anybody that's interested in open or furthering open on their campus. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's so exciting that 2 of your goals, you already achieved those. Like, wow. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Beth. Up next, we've never done this, I think, where we've asked people who have partnered on the action plan. But now Elaine Yeung and Katherine Roth, were you in Michael Whitchurch's cohort?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And he's like, hey, they're collaborating and they're really great. So you might want to ask them. And they said yes. So thank you for being here. We're anxious to hear what you have to say.
Hi, everyone. My name is Katherine Roth. I'm the copyright librarian and also the liaison librarian for English and the law minor at our institution, which is Chapman University, Leatherby Libraries. We wanted to talk about what we learned or just the professional impact this course has had on us and our experience and why we recommend it for you. So just to start off, this course was really eye-opening. It exposed us to a lot of different perspectives, just even across our institution, a lot of diverse student opinions, faculty opinions, and just diverse needs. At first, we decided to work together. It was originally, we didn't think of it on our own. We had two colleagues who took the course a couple years ago, I believe, and they were kind of the guinea pigs for our organization. They were the first ones to take it, and they had a great experience. They ended up working on their action plan together, and they really recommended it for reasons we'll get into. And yeah, we ended up having the same positive experience as well. At first, I was I felt it might be a little overwhelming to work together, because then you're kind of scoping the whole university, because we are from different liaison areas, and we're both early career librarians. So at least from my perspective, I feel like I'm still getting to know the humanities and like the English departments and such. But doing the action plan together really gave me some great insight into the STEM, what's going on with the STEM students. We were able to learn even just like facts, like in passing, like that there was one comment at a student government meeting like a few years ago that the lab manuals are something that the students see as wasteful, or like something that could be potentially an OER, or from their perspective, something that they shouldn't have to pay for, because it's just books you're just filling out your own words pretty much. So things like that. Like, I think if I would have done the action plan on my own, I would have honed in on the humanities needs, but I definitely would have missed the thing about the lab manuals and the STEM students' perspectives. And same with Elaine, she was able to gain perspective into the humanities needs. We've had one professor talk about how in constitutional law, like that book, just that area of scholarship updates every year, but it's expensive to buy a new textbook each time. So that's like something that would be a potential project. And having this class has made it so that we're able to actually make an actionable, the action plan. I was going to say an actionable road plan, but yeah, the action plan. And it really is that. If you're worried about the workload, all the work that you do leads to is practical. It leads to the culmination of your action plan. So it's always very practical, and it's helpful. There's no busy work or anything like that. And then by the end of the course, as everyone else was saying, you have an action plan that seems, or it is practical and doable, and it's tailored to your institution, even with as precise as having dates. So yes, I definitely recommend the class. I was completely new to OER coming in. I had learned about it in library school, but I didn't have any formal experience creating OER materials or things like that. But I definitely feel now more confident, and I feel like I could help get an OER initiative started at my institution. But I wouldn't have felt that way had I not taken this course. So yeah, thank you.
And I'm Elaine Yeung. I'm the STEM librarian. So following up on what Katherine said, having a team approach to an action plan, it brought a diverse perspective because different subject areas may have different approaches to OER. And OER overall is rooted in collaboration and sharing, and it is a teamwork process. So we had a jump start to that. And when the dean of the library had approached Katherine and I to participate in this program, his idea was to create an OER team for the library. So the previous two librarians had done some workshops, but it hasn't picked up too much. So it was nice that Katherine and I were able to get a fresh perspective and learn about the updates to OER currently. And for the logistics of our action plan, Katherine and I were able to communicate effectively on Teams, and then we worked collaborative on a Google Doc. And our instructor, Michael Whitchurch, was very helpful in the process as well. He also looked over drafts and gave helpful comments. And also throughout the course, we were able to engage in discussion with our other cohort members. We had monthly meetings. We also had two international students from Bangladesh and Nigeria. So it was also nice to get international perspectives on OER as well. And throughout the course in the modules, we also had to respond to discussion posts from other members. So it was nice to read what other institutions were doing as well. So overall, it's a great collaboration, not only between me and Katherine, but also with the instructor as well and the other students in a cohort. So it was nice to get that sense of community when we were all working together on an action plan. And even now, like Katherine and I have been more aware whenever students come up to us, they're asking about textbooks availability. They say may not have access to textbooks because of financial reasons. So that just gives us more of a motivation to push our action plan forward.
Thank you so much for sharing, Katherine and Elaine, and all of the program participants, almost alumni. Thank you for being with us and sharing your perspectives, which is so much more helpful than me talking at you all. So we're at that point in the information session. Any questions about anything? You can unmute, you can put it in the chat as you prefer. When is payment due? So we do it two ways, I think, but you can request a, what do you call that thing? Not a receipt, but a
Purchase order? Purchase order?
yeah, kind of like a purchase order, invoice. Thank
Okay.
you, Cheryl. Yeah, there's the word. Yes, you can request an invoice and then you can pay when the invoice is due. So you get accepted. We let you know, I think December-ish, early December-ish. And then, typically payment is made, sometime in January is usually when the payment is made. And it can be an invoice or you can pay by credit card. So either way works. The question for the application regarding DEI, if I live in a state where I'm not supposed to work on DEI, do I honestly answer it that way? Just so you know, Megan, because of that, I have softened some of the language. And so I went back and forth about softening the language here. So really, you're going to be reflecting on how open education makes all students succeed. It's more of that. So I think you should be good answering the question in whatever way you feel you need to answer the question. Does that help, Megan? I hope. If not, let me know. Direct message. Can you speak? Yep. So in terms of the BIPOC scholarship and process, you submit a regular application, regular process. You just tick the box. I would, like a BIPOC scholarship. That's it. You don't need another another letter of recommendation or anything for that. Let's see. Kathy shares helpfully about the course material coming alongside you. Absolutely. Okay, good, Megan. And Emma says, thank you. Okay. Any other questions? Those were good ones. And applications are due on the 31st. So somebody in our last session said, that's a spooky deadline. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Any other questions? Okay, if not, have a great weekend. Thank you everyone who spoke for being willing to take a little time out of your day to speak to the impact of this program. Thank you, instructors, as always. Bye, everybody. Thank you.